Hey everyone, today we are here in Long Beach with a market update with Trey Mitchell talking about the Long Beach apartment market. Trey, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, man.
We're wrapping up Q3. What's going on in the market?
Yeah, the market's still moving. Everybody is continuing to do their best to get transactions done with the ones that have needs, such as maybe somebody in an exchange. I would say there has been a lack of capital truly aggressively chasing buildings like they maybe were in 2021.
Yep.
But with that said, like I said, I mean, transactions are still happening. That's
oh, absolutely. Sure. We've done a number of transactions led by you here in Long Beach, and year to date we've closed 14 transactions in the city of Long Beach.
We just closed our 14th on Tuesday. Actually.
So there is demand.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
There's certainly demand. Where are you seeing demand the most in Long Beach? What markets?
It's a good question. I'd say it depends on the buyer profile, but from a 30,000 foot view, I'm hearing how close can I get to the water? What year is my building built? And then what pockets of Long Beach am I in? What's the pocket going to feel like? I'd say most desirable, more likely than not, is going to be anything east of Orange, south of maybe 7th.
Yep.
Alamitos Beach, working your way all the way down to Belmont Shore. There is a certain buyer profile that has a keen appetite for getting into North Long Beach, where they're really chasing lower basis going in, and they're chasing that top end return that they could get when their building's stabilized, where they might even be able to go in on a cap rate that's like close to a 4 on a value add, which is great. Because if you're here in Alamitos Beach, you might be going in on a value add building at like 3.5%.
Right. Cap rates are much lower as you get closer towards the beach.
Exactly.
But there could be a lot of upside too.
Yeah, there could be a lot of upside. Yeah, but it all depends on that basis that you're getting into as well.
Makes sense. And that rolls into, we're talking about cap rates. How are interest rates right now, and how is that affecting things?
Today, right now, it's going to get a little choppy more likely than not. Interest rates are increasing, but with that said, we're waiting to see what the Fed's going to do. Hopefully they don't go any higher than what they're talking about, the next, 75 basis point bump that they're about to make. So banks have already baked into their interest rates, planning on that. But there are some banks out there that are starting to get a little less aggressive, and they're getting interest rates closer to like a 5.
So 5 could be the new norm.
Could be.
Right? That could be our new underwriting norm.
Could be.
Talk to me about inventory. How's the inventory out there? Is there a lot of listings for sale? Is there not a lot of listings for sale?
There is a decent amount of supply out there. Reason being is because the transaction velocity is not as much as maybe it was in 2021. So we are seeing buildings stay on the market a little bit longer. But with that said, from a 30,000 foot view on what's taking place in just terms of transaction, the amount of transactions.
Yeah.
2021 we averaged about 14 to 15 transactions a month.
In the market?
Yeah, in the market.
Okay.
From all North Long Beach all the way down to Belmont Shore. The total market.
Got it.
Transacted about 14 to 15 deals a month. Now we're looking at about maybe 12 on average a month. But very interesting, and this has a lot to do with where interest rates were in May and June. But August, we only transacted 5 times, and that's from 5 units to 110 units total.
And we as in the Long Beach market as a total, not just our team, but the entire market.
Just the entire market.
That's pretty amazing. Out of as much velocity that Long Beach has, it's one of the highest velocity transaction markets in LA County.
Yes.
And to only have 5 transactions.
Only 5 transactions that I saw on record in August that took place. And I think that, again, what people don't understand too sometimes is that with August, that means the deal started more likely than not in May or June, when rates were going up. So now we're experiencing that again in the market. So it's going to be interesting to see where transactions are in 60 to 90 days time.
Exactly. So I think there's always a little bit, as we feel as in the market, there's always a little bit of softening as you go into summer too. A lot of people are traveling, especially in August, but things typically pick up in Q4. And it's going to be interesting to see how things play out as interest rates are getting a little higher. It could make the market a little soft. And maybe hopefully we have that swing up in Q4, but we'll see. We'll see if it's soft all the way through. We're still getting great pricing though. Didn't you just put under contract a 4-building portfolio for one buyer?
Yeah, correct. For one buyer, we did put in escrow a 4-property portfolio. That's more, towards the east side. it's a great deal. It's definitely value add, so it's going to be a little bit different. It's not like a turnkey, or not turnkey, but more cookie cutter or straight down the fairway, like the 11 units that we sold on East 3rd Street,
Right.
or another deal in Belmont Shore or anything of that nature. So it's a little bit, I'd say, it's a little unique in terms of the buyer who's going to purchase that 4-property portfolio. But with that said, I haven't seen too many.
What's unique about it, though?
I'd say just the upside. I mean, there's a lot of work that's going to need to be done.
It's not a cosmetic.
No, it's not really the cosmetic. It's more so with just where the rent roll is.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the rent roll is probably 4 increases behind with where the market is today. So that's going to be something of a heavy lift for the buyer going in. Is number one, getting those rents as high as he possibly can within reason, and then number two, being able to get control of the units and maybe be able to do some turns, maybe be able to make some renovations and, hit that very high watermark lease.
Well, I hear you. I mean, it seems like the most appetite is along the coast.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing that in Orange County too, and that, is right up the coast here into Long Beach. There's been a flight to quality.
Mm-hmm.
The market's still pretty well balanced.
Yeah.
And interest rates are making, it a little tougher out there.
Yeah.
But the fundamentals, rents are still very, very strong.
Absolutely.
So overall, it's a great market. Anything else you want to mention as to what's going on?
Not much. Always landlords are wondering, what it means to be a landlord in the market and what's going on restriction-wise. And I know that comes from a local, that comes from a county, and that comes from a state level. But with that said, I have talked to some more professional investors that are in the market and have been in the market for a long time. Mm-hmm. Their attorneys and their lawyers that are, boots in the ground in that world. I'm not hearing any, potential horror stories that we're going to have to deal with, like maybe some landlords are dealing with in the city of LA,
right,
or any other cities throughout the county. So it sounds like Long Beach, from a legislative standpoint, is going to stay pretty favorable to a landlord.
There's just nothing down the pike.
Yeah, there's nothing down the pike. Again, we never know, but we're not hearing any whispers of anything getting crazy.
Well, that's good. Well, I really appreciate the market update. Thank you so much. And that's pretty much a wrap. That's an update on Trey Mitchell and Long Beach apartment market with our CBRE multifamily team. Thanks so much for watching. We'll continue to put out content, and we will update you on new listings that come to the market here in Long Beach.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks again, Trey.
Yep, thanks, Dan.
You got it.